Hello everybody, welcome back. My name is Vox, and you know what? We have a special guest joining me here today in the Paladins Summer Circuit. We do have a second caster for the rest of the tournament today. Why don't you go and say hello, none other than Hi-Rez Pretty Hair himself.
What's up, all my Grove Street people? How we doing today? Ready to get into this action, boys? Why don't you take us through the teams today, Vox?
All right, thank you very much. So on the left-hand side of your screen, we have the Paladins World, or rather the Paladins Founders Tournament champions. It is District 69. Gerrah is running Eevee, eLvenpath on Ying, Kagemitsu on Pip, Bugzy on Cassie, and PERDO on that Androxus we've come to know and love. On the right-hand side of your screen, their challengers today are none other than Death and Taxes. Bozey on Eevee, knipo on Cassie, TheScorpYoN on Bomb King, STURE on Buck, and Kamyker on Androxus. The initial capture point objective is on Igloo, and you can see immediately Death and Taxes try and go for some high ground and get their flank on.
Yeah, but eLvenpath and the boys are responding with some high ground control of their own. This is going to be a skirmish in the high ground. Right now, we see gerrah battling it out with knipo, looking like he's getting the better of him, but the 2v1 goes in favor of Kamyker. Bozey finding himself the next target of aggression. eLvenpath blinking around, but he is going to be picked off by STURE on that buck. Pushing into the back line now is going to be Kagemitsu, but he's going to be taken down as well here. The boys on D69 are losing this initial capture point.
And they seem to have just been really falling apart right there. Now, we saw 3 members as opposed to 2 go up for that high ground objective on the side of Death and Taxes. And you know what? Kamyker on a 2 streak right now really helped wipe out that 2 versus 1, getting their team a bit more of an advantage. And now the zone is coming out. Kamyker with a long distance shot takes out Bugzy. Was that a headshot I saw coming through? And the zone pressure is just too good coming out from Death and Taxes right now. They're not letting anybody of District 69 get onto the objective. And check this out, as Bozey in a lot of trouble is forced to soar and wormhole back away, getting away just in time. That out of combat regen working wonders as they start to put some pressure onto Kagemitsu.
PERDO going to come out with the ultimate here, going to pop the reversal, trying to stay alive here, but likely to go down. Yes, he is going to drop 2 STURE eventually around the backside, though. Is gerrah on that Eevee, getting the flank here. He is going to be taking out Scorpion. Bugzy trying to stay alive on this Cassie. STURE is hot on his trail, though. He's not getting him. He's going to get around the corner, though. Kagemitsu going to be able to clean that one up.
Oh, and at 93 points, the retake comes through. Bugzy, though, wiped out by Kamyker now. A potential retake coming out as Bozey under a lot of fire, but death awaits you all as Kamyker with the accursed arm drops 1 shot, drops 2 shots. He doesn't manage to pick up the double kill, but now very, very low is gerrah with the double kill, but Kagemitsu quickly answers back, and Kagemitsu's looking to hold this one down. The Scorpion pops the Bomb King Bomb ultimate, but it's quickly polymorphs as well by the chicken. Now as Kagemitsu versus the world as Buck comes into the objective. Scorpion dishing out that explosive shot damage under a lot of fire, but knocked up into the air as Kagemitsu. 1 more poppy bomb or 1 more bomb will take him out. Bugzy able to contest for the last second, but it's only Bugzy left. The imprisonment comes out from STURE as well. That's going to lock everybody from District 69 away from the objective, and the capture comes through. 2-0 lead Death and Taxes.
Really nice stuff coming out of there. STURE able to find the great ultimate there, zoning anyone from having any retake potential on this first capture point. It is going to go their way there. Bugzy now pushing forward, or Kagemitsu, excuse me, pushing forward now onto the aggression, trying to get some zone control, make space for his team to push the payload through this first choke.
And this first choke point is commonly referred to us at Paladins World as cliff tops, as it is really surrounded by a cliff top on one side and a high ground balcony on the other. And that'll make it very dangerous to push through for Death and Taxes. Now, knipo on the backside, wiping out Bugzy is going to make things a little bit easier, but Bugzy's already taken out Kamyker. There's nobody on the objective right now, and there's a Ying illusion nearby. It's going to be starting to be pushing through, but eLvenpath doing a good job so far of contesting, but not for long, as Bozey takes him out midair and looks to push this one completely through. We're going to see STURE as the tanky Buck start to push forwards onto the objective, looking to contest. gerrah drops down to contest just for a second, but it's very, very quickly wiped out. PERDO with a double kill is going to keep it stalled out for just a second, but you know, Death and Taxes, Nick, they're looking unstoppable right now, and I don't think the District 69 really have the defensive capabilities to stop them.
Hey, do you think maybe D69 underestimated their opponents a little bit, going for those kind of a style pick on the Ying there?
Yeah, eLvenpath with the Ying pick. I mean, Ying's not a pick that we usually see in competitive play right now. It is a little bit funky. It's a little bit weird. We've seen it work a couple of times. In fact, Death and Taxes did run it last season, and it worked for them, but the defense has come through and is holding for now. But we don't know how long that's quite going to happen for, as the respawns are coming out from Death and Taxes, and they're looking to push through once again.
Yeah, D69 finally able to kind of stabilize a bit. They're all taking their preferred positions, to getting ready to dig in here in their base and try and hold this one. Really try not to let them convert and get too out of control here, but the boys from Death and Taxes have begun to move forward. Kamyker finding a kill on a PERDO. That's huge. The start of the fight here. Gerrah is going to miss his blink here. Finding aggression now onto Kara, though. Is he likely to go down? He does not have his reversal up, but knipo looking to clean that one up in response. Evie is going to be able to make her way through the teleport. Meanwhile, though, the capture point getting ever so close, inches away now. PERDO, the only one can test Gerrah now. Dropping low, the boys are getting pushed off. A Cursed Arm's going to come out. Find one kill on a Scorpion. Another headshot comes out on a knipo. The defense shall hold for now. STURE, the only one left on the respawn now. He is going to be taken out by all the boys of D69. Only 1 second remaining. The defense is going to fail. They're not going to be able to push this one into overtime. The scoreboard now reading 1-2.
And let's take a quick check in with both the teams on the scoreboard and look at the burn cards coming out for both of their picks. As we get into the second objective of the game, Death and Taxes leading 2-1 with a successful defense. See 2 cauterizers picked up on the side of Death and Taxes, looking to deal with some maybe of the sustain coming out of Kagemitsu's pip. On the other side, 2 cauterizers trying to shut down Buck as well. A lot of havens so far. That's actually a resilience picked up on Bugzy, reducing the duration of crowd control, getting locked down by Buck a lot by the looks of things and really trying to keep themselves alive. Let's see how it plays out as the next objective will be on mines. We'll check in with the teams as they look to make the first aggression.
Yep, ult advantage though, gonna go slightly in favor of D69. They do have their Blizzard available, they have their Illusory Rift available, and they also have their Scout available, which is worth noting that he is running that Fatal Sign 4, so there's gonna be a lot of bonus damage coming out for the side of D69 in this initial capture fight, as we see Bugzy taking out knipo really early on. And Drox, excuse me, likely to go down here as well. He's falling. The Blizzard comes out, but Evie is able to blink out of it, not before being taken down. eLvenpath now with the double kill on this Ying, triple kill going over on the way of the Ying on this eLvenpath.
That's a Ying triple kill?
Yeah,
we never see that. In fact, I say we never see that. We saw that last week. But 6 minutes and 45 seconds to the game, and a Ying gets a triple kill. This is a completely different District 69 to the one we saw on the last objective. We've seen, you know, them go ahead and really try and figure out Death and Taxes in that first objective, and they seem to have done it very successfully. Now with Bozey blinking in deep, looks to drop some damage, but no, a headshot will force them right out of the issue. District 69, they're going for the full cap. Kamyker can be able to contest for a second, but going to be frozen out, going to be contested, going to be wiped out. And here comes the Cassie jumping in just the last second, but no, it's the EU Conga as the kills just keep on coming through in favor of District 69. They wipe everybody out and start to convert the payload or push it towards its conversion.
Yeah, we saw Death and Taxes getting a little bit of a panic there, start to kind of trickle in. Conga lining just being picked off one by one there, really just trying to stall, do what they can, really hoping, setting up kind of a Hail Mary play there.
And absolutely, that's what we like to refer to as the EU Conga in this region. We see it a lot of times in a lot of different games where, especially in the EU region for some reason, when the objective or when the point of a game, the turning point of a game is so close to completion, we'll see players kind of funnel in one by one in a desperate attempt to keep it ticking over or to go for the win or to go for the defense without maybe grouping up as a team. But often that's because they run out of time and really there's no other play that they can make. Now the payload push is being relatively unhindered so far. Kamyker going to contest for a second, but is quickly going to be damaged and should go into reversal. There we go. Under a lot of fire. Going to be picked up by Kagemitsu there. Now the payload's pushed through the clifftop choke point. Gerrah and Kagemitsu still as these blasters, one blaster, one striker, available to dish down area damage from above. STURE's going to contest for a second, but I don't know how long they're going to last as eLvenpath now joins the fray.
Yeah, PERDO actually going to be able to find the return kill onto Bozey there. Buck really just trying to get in the back line here, but he is going to be picked off quickly. Scorpion finally finding a return kill onto PERDO. Kamyker going to pop the ultimate there and take out Bugzy here. They're looking like they might be able to stabilize as the respawns do begin to come through. Kamyker now taking out Kagemitsu. Bozey with a long shot onto eLvenpath takes him out. The boys of Death and Taxes have been finding that stabilize here in their base. They're looking to dig in, looking to hold this one, just as D69 was able to do to them in the previous round.
And they have to be careful here. On the side of District 69, you have Pip. You have Kagemitsu running Pip, a blaster who excels at dishing out damage, not only from the high ground, but also from range. So high ground control right now is so very important. That's exactly what Kamyker has been looking to hold so far. But hold that thought as the ScorpYoN very low, does have to use Poppy Bomb to try and get back to base. So incredibly low, just gets back into the healing pad in time. Will live to fight another day. Up in the air is PERDO, looking to dish down some area damage. Kagemitsu and eLvenpath pick up kills to Bozey and STURE. The payload's got no Buck to contest it right now. knipo, the last Cassie alive on the objective, is going to look to contest, but Kagemitsu wipes him out. That's a Grumpy Bomb bomb behind the payload. Kagemitsu's going to run away from that. TheScorpYoN goes down to contest as well, but they're going to get wiped out. There's a close range accursed arm, but it only picks up 1 kill as eLvenpath gets a return. Bozey's going to contest, but now comes up the imprisonment from STURE as well. That's going to keep them all locked in, reduce the damage onto Buck as well. PERDO still picks up Bozey though. That's a disengage onto STURE. That's going to keep them away from the area, but it's a complete all-out brawl. PERDO with a double kill and Bugzy wiping out STURE at the last second, gets the conversion, and District 69 take the lead of 5 points to 2 over an early Death and Taxes win.
Death and Taxes just barely able not to get on that payload. They just had a split-second window in which it was open to be pushed in. The payload was so close already. That's all District 69 needed to capture and convert this payload. The scoreboard now reading 5-2. Vox, take us through the burn cards in this third round.
So once again, we see on the side of District 69, 3 cauterizers, those red cards on the side of gerrah, eLvenpath, and Kagemitsu. Now, having picked up all of those, they'll be able to reduce the healing on that STURE is able to gain by, I think it's 80% with the current patch with cauterizers. We are, of course, in closed beta patch 29, and that's really the important thing that I'm seeing right here. STURE, that tanky frontliner Buck, is going to be able to dive deep into the backline and disrupt. Is going to be able to frontline for their team on the objectives, but not if they've got no healing, because, of course, Buck doesn't have shields available to them. Buck relies on the sustain, but the TheScorpYoN pops the ultimate, looks to go in with a King Bomb. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to find anybody. I think that's PERDO who's wiped out there. Bozey picks up Bugzy on the backside of things, and now District 69, they're wiped out. There's only eLvenpath left, and Death and Taxes are going for the objective.
Yeah, really great job there, STURE, getting into the backline, finding the early kill. eLvenpath, though, finding 2 return kills before being taken out by the Scorpion. They're that Ying, just so elusive. We're maybe not used to Death and Taxes, not really looking like they're used to seeing this pick there. They are doing a decent job of handling it, but we're seeing eLvenpath kind of taken by surprise every now and then.
And eLvenpath on the backside of that Ying, they do have their ultimate available to them. You can see that eLvenpath is running Morale Boost, the card which increases the ultimate charge rate by 40%, and as a result, they're going to have that Illusory Rift up very, very often. Now, Illusory Rift isn't all about damage. Hold that Thor up in the air. Kamyker pops the accursed arm. There's damage onto all players, but it's not quite enough to net a kill, and in fact, District 69 are pulling this back one in their favor. They're going for the retake again. The Scorpion in the air. It's going to get wiped out by a shot from gerrah as well. gerrah with the double kill. Let's take this one back. Bozey has the freeze. Bozey picks up Bugzy, but Bozey's so very low. He's going to try and escape this life, but PERDO picks him up with a great Androx's shot.
Yeah, a little bit interesting there. It didn't look like Death and Taxes elected to go for a lot of forward zone control, giving them more time to cap. They only got 61 points off their first capture fight win before D69 was able to kind of get in there and find some counter aggression and retake potential. eLvenpath finding a kill onto knipo, though, before he blinks out of Kamyker's range, who just takes out his decoy. A little frustration coming out there as the boys are really struggling to find their way back in. D69 doing a great job holding this capture point. It looks like it's going to go their way, ticking up past 90 now. STURE's looking to get in, but he's so low health he can't leap in right now, and that objective is going to go the way of D69. 7-9 now reads the scoreboard as we begin our push towards the base of Death and Taxes.
Death and Taxes, they don't seem to be quite as good at the zone as District 69 are. We always talk about zoning, so why don't we go ahead and break that down a little bit for you. So you know that when you get onto the objective, Nick, you have the capture rate increases up to I think it's up to 1.5 times the rate or 2 times the rate, depending on how many members you have of your team on it. So you can have up to 3 members and increase the rate, but any more than 3 members, and you won't actually increase the rate any further. So the ideal solution is you stick 2 or 3 members of your team on the objective, on that capture point, and then you send the rest of your team out to just poke the other team down before they get to the fight. So they're not fighting you at full health. They're fighting you at a lot lower health, and that puts the advantage in your favor. And District 69 do that phenomenally now. Kagemitsu on the backside has polymorph. Sture's going to be able to jump away and get to safety. And what do you want to see, Pretty Hair? What do you want to see from Death and Taxes here? Is they have to go for a great defense to be able to make this hold.
They have to take out Bugzy here and hold it in this choke. You have to utilize everything you have. They're just letting it roll through the choke there. This is really where Death and Taxes could have been making a really nice hold there, but they are just going to elect to fall back. The respawns are coming through. They got to just hold at the base here. They got to really use their ultimates, coordinate them, and make sure that they have all the control that they need to prevent that small window, because that's all the champions needed to get the payload converted. And if they do it this time, that is going to be game.
They do have a very, very potent set of ultimates on their side, though, especially with that King Bomb ultimate. Now, why don't you go ahead and break down exactly what the Scorpion has in their kit available to them if they do pop into that ultimate stance?
Yeah, so what's going to happen if the Scorpion ults? He's going to turn into the living bomb himself. We'll likely see him poppy bomb himself into the backline here. It's going to be a bomb that scales up in damage. He is going to be the bomb himself. So he rolls into the backline looking to get up on those carries, doing up to 2,500 damage, scaling the farther that he is away. As we see the team fight has begun here, it doesn't even matter. He does go down there to PERDO. Kagemitsu finding another kill. PERDO finding a double kill onto Kamyker. They are going to capture, convert. That is going to be game, ladies and gentlemen.
That was PERDO with the reversal. Did you see that? We saw that Kamyker went up into the air, dropped the accursed arm down to PERDO. Quick reactions, managed to get the reversal around, absorb so much damage, hits him with a full force reflect for the kill by the looks of things, or the shot just afterwards. And let's check in with the scoreboard as we see the results of Game 1. Now, Death and Taxes had a dominant early performance on that first objective, but District 69, once they figured them out, just started to take things back, even with their Ying pickup and no real frontline on their team. Is there any particular player that you'd like to highlight here?
For me, we got to look at Kamyker there. Similar to the Bomb King from the previous match, he's the closest one to kind of that positive scoreline there, really leading the damage charts, really shining there despite his team going down in this first game.
And I also want to give props to TheScorpYoN as well. Actually, top of the damage charts for the team. Second highest damage in game, if I'm not mistaken. And what we're seeing here is we're seeing a couple of members of Death and Taxes really flagging. knipo, for example, just got shut down that entire game, sitting at 3 and 14 as a slash line. Really dived deep and pressured so much by the divers of District 69, such as gerrah on Eevee. Now, moving to the next game on Temple Ruins, whilst you might see some different picks coming through, I'm half expecting a Victor to maybe come out from one of the teams. But definitely need to see more emphasis of, instead of STURE diving deep into the backline, maybe hanging back a little bit and heading off the ambushes at the pass, would you not say? Because, of course, if you can keep knipo alive, maybe get those Fatal Sign Scout ultimates running, it might put your team in better standing. That'll be all from us for now, though. We'll get ready to spectate the next game. It will be District 69 versus Death and Taxes, Game 2 of this best-of-3 set in the semi-finals on Temple Ruins after this short break. Champions of the realm, welcome back. My name is Vox, joined of course by none other than Hi-Rez Pretty Hair, and this is Game 2 of Death and Taxes versus District 69. The map is Temple Ruins, and District 69 took an early lead over Death and Taxes in Game 1. But Nick, who do we have here today with our picks and our teams?
We are going to see it switched up a little bit by Death and Taxes STURE. Instead of going for that tanky frontliner, he is going to be on that Kinessa. A great pickup here on Temple Ruins, as the long sightlines very heavily favor this character. knipo going to be bringing it back on that Cassie. Kamyker running it back on Androxus. Bozey on Eevee, and ScorpYoN running it back on Bomb King. The rest of the picks remain the same. Take us through the champions, D69 Vox.
So on D69, we do have one change coming through. We got gerrah still on Eevee, bugzy still on Cassie, eLvenpath from Ying onto Victor this time, Kagemitsu still on Pip, level 25 on Pip, very impressive there, and PERDO on Androxus. The first point has spawned on, it would be the Canyon objective right now, and some early advantage for Death and Taxes, it looks like, but the flank is coming out. Bugzy on the backside picks up knipo, and that'll be an early lead for District 69 as they make to look, or rather as they look to make this first push theirs.
I'm really interested to see how D69 are going to pressure this Kinessa out, as we see ScorpYoN being taken to the flank. Now 3 members of D69 coming through, looking to put the pressure onto STURE, who is the only remaining member of Death and Taxes. He goes down as well here. The first capture point going in favor of D69 at the moment. The boys are moving out, looking for that zone control, but the respawns have started to come through for Death and Taxes. Let's see if they can take this one back.
I love the champions which they stuck out here. So they got Kagemitsu on Pip with the big area damage, looking for zone, just looking for the dismounts. You got Victor with a long range on his assault rifle there, going to be able to dismount and box out players from range, as well as Androxus with the increased range from 200 to 300 units now. Whilst he does have damage fall off, he's still at least going to be able to dismount people at range. Oh, PERDO, I think that was the defiance there. Managed to pick up Kamyker, gerrah with STURE on the backside. And you know, you talked about dealing with Kinessa earlier. It appears the District 69, they're just not concerned with Kinessa in any shape or form. They're just happy to let her kind of do her thing and then pick her off last in the fights.
So I want to highlight something real quick, a kind of a meta shift we're seeing away from kind of the Fernandos every game, away from those, you know, heavy frontline protectors. Is this a result of other characters getting better, or is this just a result of maybe Fernando losing his crazy high HP pool that he has been so blessed with in the past?
I think it's a combination of both. What we've seen the meta shift towards now is, instead of more frontline, it's more backline focused on range damage. So we're seeing,
baby.
Oh, good grief. Kamyker and Bozey answering back onto District 69, but we're seeing firepower, right? But it's not just that, it's ranged firepower that we're seeing. When you go into an engagement, often some of the objectives are kind of closed in on each other, and if you can poke down the enemy team before the actual brawl starts off, you're at much more of an advantage, as well as Fernando experiencing an HP nerf, as well as a shield health nerf, which makes him a little bit less survivable and less of a disruption in the backline. Now we're starting to see Buck favored a little bit more, because whilst he is still not as tanky as old Fernando was, he's got more mobility, so he can get in and out of danger a little bit more easily.
Exactly. Buck with so much more mobility here on the way in the back line. is going to be Gerrah looking for the flank on a Scorpion. Is going to be able to snuff him out, though, and kind of, you know, stop that in its tracks. STURE way up in the back. Knessa really able to hold these bases well, as it's very hard to pressure her all the way up by her spawn with the fountain healing so easily accessible to her. The boys of D69 looking like they're struggling a little bit to break the base here, as we see the payload has not yet been able to be pushed through that initial choke in the base here. Both of the boys just waiting for the respawns to come through.
This is really the deficit of not having that front line on your team. So in
Yeah.
previous patches, we saw everybody pick up Barrack as a necessity because your barricade was just so useful for defense, as well as having easy to confirm damage with your rifle. Now Barrack with a blunderbuss, only really effective with damage at close range, based a lot more around turrets. Not seeing any fortitude in competitive play. The kills are starting to come through in favor of District 69 right now. Bugzy very low on the backside. He's going to have to duel out Bozey. Bozey going to pick up the kill for that. PERDO, though, with the Cursed Arm is going to get a double kill. Scorpion takes him out in the air, though, with a Bomb King shot, and now forced away at District 69 again, as the push looked like it was going to be a little bit successful there, but quickly wiped out.
eLvenpath playing ring around the rosy there with Bozey, just trying to stall, giving him enough time for Kagemitsu to take him down, but he is going to fall to that EV. The defense is going to be failed here at the first point. You know, we're not seeing the protectors, but it's almost, do you forego that front line being able to convert a lot of payloads and just put all of your chips into a strong comp to win these capture point fights and just kind of win it, you know, 2 capture points at a time. You know, don't even worry about converting the payload.
Honestly, if you can retain control of the objectives like District 69 have been doing so far, then absolutely it works out so much more beneficial in your favor. If you're kind of putting all your eggs into one basket, which is really going for the payload pushes, you don't necessarily have the best composition for these objective plays, and without that, you're going to lose the game. You don't win just off payload pushes and defenses, because you still have to capture objectives. The point has spawned, the burn cards are coming out across the teams. A lot of morale boosts, 4 morale boosts actually picked up on the side of Death and Taxes. They're looking for all of those ultimates. Let's tune in with the District 69, though, as they see if they can deal with the Knessa this time, who's actually in a very defensive position up on the high ground, looking for the anti-flank.
Yep, so that scout has already come out. The ult control very heavily, well, not heavily, but in favor of Death and Taxes here. PERDO finding himself poked out a little bit is going to be able to use those nether steps to get out of there. Bozey finding a kill and then being able to blink out. Scorpion finding a kill onto Bugzy here. Kamyker finding one onto eLvenpath. This capture point fight going very heavily in favor of Death and Taxes. PERDO now on the back foot, going to have to pop that reversal. Kagemitsu being able to it finds a nice Evo Mojo, really going to stop that aggression in its tracks. This might be the momentum swing that D69 needs for the take-back potential. Only 20 points now on the side of Death and Taxes, climbing slowly.
There's a disgusting ult combination that could come out actually from the side of District 69. Here's the barrage from eLvenpath. That's one of them, but it's not going to actually connect. There's a couple of shots firing, but it's going to all miss. And I was hoping that maybe Eevee would pop the ultimate there just to keep everybody crippled in, but it doesn't even matter, as the Cursed Arm actually picks up the double kill from PERDO. Bozey's contesting the objective for now, but will be wiped out very shortly. PERDO with a triple kill right there, looking for the Quadra as they put pressure onto Kamyker, but Kamyker should be able to get out of the issue to safety. Does have reversal available if necessary, but District 69 with the retake looking strong.
Yeah, very strong indeed, and the respawns have now started to come out. 68 points in favor of D69, looking like they're going to take this one as well here. It was looking pretty bright for the boys of Death and Taxes here. They look for the final take-back potential. 97. Oh, he is able to get on it. Pops the Blizzard. In response, though, the boys of D69 are still winning this fight now 1-0 in this trade. Gerrah finding the kill. They are going to capture the objective and take the fight in spades.
Now Bozey, the last one able to contest, has to sort of retreat and let the team maybe come through and look for the respawns as Bozey blinks in towards Bugzy, but
nice
a great
roll.
dodge roll will keep him safe. Yeah, now straight into the maw of the demon. Kagemitsu there, going to drop a lot of damage, getting the kill onto somebody else's eLvenpath, picks up Bozey. The payload is going to go through relatively uncontested. Let's check out gerrah in the backline, dives, drops the Ice Storm. It's not enough damage, but actually no, the Scorpion in the air is going to be shot down by PERDO. Fantastic play. Now Kamyker is going to be under fire as PERDO looks to push through in the flanking route. There's a reversal. No, there's a Defiance coming through. And there's a lot of damage from both teams available here. PERDO winning the boxing match 1 versus 2 right now, but will be forced to retreat. But the payload, look where it is. It's unhindered so far. It's almost reached the base of Death and Taxes.
gerrah so brave there on that blink, finding a great ultimate. They're able to find a couple of follow-up kills. They're really just finding what they needed to push it through kind of those first corridors. Looking to make it into the base this time is D69, as both of them have started to try and poke each other out. Both teams just kind of feeling each other out. It's going to be eLvenpath pushing the payload in here, getting closer and closer into the gate. knipo about half health, the only one left to contest here. The boys are finding a lot of kills here. Bozey now in his ice block, very low, one shot. He's going to go down. eLvenpath going to get around the corner, being able to avoid that contest. They're going to resume pushing the payload. The boys are looking to just pressure them back into their spawn. The Bomb King all going to come out looking, but pop, finding a kill on the PERDO, but the defense has failed. That's 4 points going in D69's favor. The scoreboard now reading 6-1.
I gotta ask you a real quick question here. It's slightly off topic.
No worries.
Is eLvenpath role playing right now? Because we have Victor as your kind of very Russian champion, and we have eLvenpath as your very Russian player on the side of District 69. Met him at Worlds, met him at the Founders Tournament. Absolutely lovely guy. Very, very Russian on his streams as well, though. I'm just gonna ask you, do you think he's playing Victor because he feels a certain affinity there?
He's feeling he's taking it home for the hometown pride, man. He's feeling it. He's feeling very patriotic. He's gonna he's got to take it home for Russia here. I'd be doing the same if they put an Italian character in the game. I know I'd be doing the same.
That's fair enough. Now, eLvenpath actually picking up Veteran here as a healing card. Very curious pickup for such a mobile and damage-intensive champion. But you've got to consider that Victor does have hustle available to them.
Oh, yeah.
If they can hustle around a corner and just stay out of combat for a little while, they'll come back full health P, full health P, full HP very, very quickly. The fight's breaking out. Kamyker taking an early kill into bugzy. The damage is looking good from Death and Taxes this time. But actually, no. There we go. PERDO under a lot of fire from Bozey. Does wipe out Bozey. Now, Kamyker looking for the boxing match versus PERDO. You can see them duking in and out either side of the pillar. There's some damage going on to Kamyker, but actually the defiance is good. Kamyker wipes out PERDO. Kagemitsu answers back into the Scorpion. And the kills at this point are just going either way.
Grenade. The barrage going to come out from eLvenpath here, trying to find it. He finds one shot, finds two shots on the Kamyker. He is going to go down, despite popping the reversal. gerrah on the back line, though, gets the jump onto STURE. Kill credited to eLvenpath. Now a triple go. Kagemitsu finding kills way off the side in the flank. Finds knipo there before returning to the point. Gonna find aggression now onto bugzy. No one expected him to be coming from that far off the plank.
Oh, Kagemitsu. Good grief. He's finding kills left and right. You're right. He's nowhere near the actual objective right now, but he's still dropping damage in. And it seems to Death and Taxes, they're underestimating a level 25 Pip. You got to remember, this is the first patch that Pip has been actually quite strong again in.
Yes,
CD28, hold that thought as a cursed arm from behind. PERDO with a triple kill. Wipes them all out. He's going for the quadra kill. No, eLvenpath steals it away, picking up knipo here. But the objective right now, fully in favor of District 69.
The boys of Death and Taxes maybe looking a little bit kind of spooked, looking around for this Pip, trying to get him spotted out. Meanwhile, PERDO is able to get up in the air and get the jump on all of them with that accursed arm. Beautiful stuff coming out here as we see the aggression. The capture point has gone their way. They're beginning to poke him out, trying to push this one up into the base. If they capture, or if they convert this one, this game will be over, and I believe that means they will take the series.
They will advance to the finals, facing off against the winner of Torpedo versus Fate. Now on the backside, you can see that PERDO taking out Kamyker, picking up a double kill as the flank goes wrong. gerrah and PERDO way overextended. 1 versus 2 is Kamyker, but still comes out in the lead. This Androx is a force to be reckoned with right now, but Pip might have something to say about it as the shots keep on coming through onto them. Kamyker in a lot of trouble, going to be forced out of the issue, right back to the healing fountain, and the payload is fully contested at this point in time. There's 1 minute and 43 seconds left on the clock right now. Let's see if they can get the conversion or if they'll be stalled out like they originally were in the first objective.
PERDO finding a kill onto the Scorpion. gerrah way deep in the backline, pops the ice block, giving a lot of space for his team to work right now. Bozey very low in his ice block. His blink is available, though. He's able to get around the corner. But he does wormhole back in there. Looks like Scout has been popped as we see the red skull indicator is over his head. Now the boys of D69 are wide open to push, and the respawns have started to come through for Death and Taxes, but there's a big fight going over there. gerrah buying a lot of time. Scorpion falling very low here, but Kamyker is responding. Bozey finds a kill onto eLvenpath as well. They're looking like they're able to start to stabilize this defense a little bit.
And that's exactly what they need to do, is with only a minute left on the clock, there's a time for another couple of pushes coming from District 69 as the respawn proximity is relatively close to the base, but the payload has reached the gates of Death and Taxes base right now, and this is a very dangerous time for them with no real frontline on either team. They have to rely on who has the best poke, and honestly, I'm going to give it to the side with a Knessa right here. If STURE can get those long-distance shots off from the high ground, stay safe, and just poke down District 69, they'll definitely have an advantage, or Death and Taxes will definitely have the advantage here. But if District District 69 get their flank off, as they are right now, as gerrah dives in deep, looking for the kill. One more shot will do it, but he can't seem to find it. There it is, right at the last second. Gets the kill. Now he's running into another EV. Bozey goes into Iceblock. They're both in Iceblock looking for the contest. At the Waitsy wall, though, as the accursed armor's been popped. PERDO takes a knipo. Kagemitsu wipes out the Scorpion. Kamyker on stuck in PERDO.
No.
But bugzy with the mid-air shot takes him out. There's nobody left to contest. The barrage has been popped by eLvenpath. The damage is coming onto STURE right there. It's going to wipe him out in mid-air. There's nobody there in time. The Scorpion at the very last second gets on with Bozey. The defense is going to hold. It's going to get into overtime right now. And we're going to see if the respawns from District 69 are enough to keep it ticking through, or if Bozey is going to be able to carry the team to victory with the last clutch defense triple kill.
Yeah, PERDO now the only one left alive. He's going to be zoned out completely. The Blizzard coming through. Defense going to be failed for now. The scorelord now reading 2 points to 8. D69 has to capture this one, and they will put the game away. They've given themselves a lot of room for error here. They can even give up an entire capture and convert and still be in a good position to win this game.
Absolutely. Now, you can no longer win off a defense. That was changed going from CB27 into CB28. So District 69, they still do have to go for an objective capture in order to win, but they do have plenty of time, just as Nick said, to go for it. The burn cards coming out for either team. We're seeing a lot of healing on both teams, contrary to what we normally see. Kagemitsu on the side of District 69, the only one so far to pick up Cauterize that anti-heal, but those big AoE shots, would you argue that maybe that's all you need?
I think that's what both of the teams are thinking right now. Scorpion being the only Cauterize on the side of Death and Taxes. That's what kind of they're thinking. They're looking to use their blasters to kind of spread this Cauterize around and hopefully make effective use of that. But no, I like that they've gone for more healing. This is kind of more hype in my opinion. A lot of crazy snowball can happen off of these kill the heals.
Absolutely. I mean, if you just keep going, you see that knipo there on Cassie wiped out, does have life rip, can't land the shots to be able to survive. Kamyker takes out eLvenpath though. The kills are coming back either way, but gerrah deep in the backside wipes out STURE. That's going to put District 69 on the back foot. Now Kamyker under a lot of fire, potentially frozen out here, wiped out by gerrah. This Eevee's on a tear.
They're so zoned out right now. What is happening? The boys of Death and Taxes are not even able to get close to this capture point. They have not gotten a single capture point, and D69 is almost going to take it. King Bomb comes out, but he gets clipped. He gets clipped inside of the pillar. No effect going to come out from that one. A cursed arm going to clean up the Eevee and finding one onto the Cassie as well. This is going to go very cleanly. That is going to be your game and your series in favor of the champions.
Showing why they were so strong and why they managed to take the Founders Tournament in a sweep in both sets in their favor. DreamHack Summer 2016, District 69 come out on top, and they will advance through to the finals. And let's take a quick check-in with the scoreboard before we go any further. And what I'm seeing again is, you know what? This time the player of the match for me, we've talked about how it's how maybe it's PERDO and Androxus before, and even with the lowest credit score on their team, for me it's gerrah. Because did you see some of the freezes which they got off? Some of the disruption. It's not necessarily all about the kills, and their KD was still positive there, but they dived in so deep and disrupted all of the backline of Death and Taxes, and for me that really allowed the win.
Precisely. I totally agree with you. So gerrah, let's look at gerrah's scoreline here. You know, nothing really impressive. All of the value from gerrah, look at STURE's scoreline. 3 and 12 on that Kinessa, 22,000 damage, lowest credits in the game. This is why he was so important in the game. Completely shutting down that Kinessa, really able to just get in the back line and do work on her.
Not just the Kinessa, knipo as well, really shut down. We saw gerrah in that final objective really go in ham from the backside, look for the assassination and pull it off onto knipo. Knipo, no kills that entire game. That's not something we necessarily expect to see in the semi-finals of the Paladins Summer Circuit. So, you know, something's going on there. Maybe knipo suffering from connection difficulties, or maybe they're just not aware of the flanks coming through. But District 69 playing hands down just so well today. But that'll be it from this particular set. Blame lag? Always blame lag. NA servers, right? Am I right?
You're right.
That's what I'm talking about. But hey, we have the brackets right up ahead of us. We're going to give those a quick refresh. And it looks like it will be Torpedo versus District 69 in the finals. Partially as expected. Torpedo taking the 2-0 sweep versus Fate. But up next will be the bronze match between Fate and Death and Taxes. Two teams which I consider more on the same skill level here. We're going to see a very intense match coming through. And you know what? I don't know which way it'll go. We saw in the ESL tournament yesterday both teams competing. And it was a very close series, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll check in with them them in just a second. But in the meantime, don't forget to follow Paladins Game on Twitch and Twitter so you can see when we go live. You can also find at Paladins World on Twitter for all of your information about the Paladins Summer Circuit, as well as the brand new Paladins Pro Twitter account. You know what? We're going to drop a link to that in chat just in a second. But there is now a new official Hi-Rez Paladins Pro at Paladins Pro on Twitter account for all of your competitive Paladins needs. So definitely check in with that as well. That's it from myself, Vox, and Hi-Rez Pretty Hair for the time being. We'll see you after the break for Death and Taxes versus Fate Esports.